What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about the Norwegian Kronregaliene, if I'm saying that correctly, which translates to the Norwegian Crown Regalia, or the royal crown jewels of Norway. Like we see here in this picture, this amazing crown. Honestly, given how down to earth and normal the royal family is in Norway, especially compared to other royal families like the British royal family, the Norwegian royal family, especially the king and queen, are very, very normal, likable people. So I've never even thought about this kind of thing that you see with a lot of other royal families around the world. I mean, you never see the King of Norway wearing a crown or holding a scepter or something. And yet here we see there's the king's crown, there's a queen's crown, the crown prince's coronet. Oh, wow. There's a orb, scepters, there's a horn, there's a sword. There's a lot of amazing, oh my gosh, beautiful looking royal regalia. And today, I just want to take a look and learn about a little bit of these Norwegian artifacts, these beautiful royal pieces of, I don't know, art, basically. Yeah, I've never seen a picture of the King of Norway wearing a crown like you usually think of when you think of a king. So this is kind of cool to see. It says the royal regalia are symbols of the king's power and majesty. The word regalia is derived from the word rex, worthy of a king. Its most important function is associated with coronations. Oh. Maybe that's when Norway uses all this stuff. Um, when the king is coronated. So whenever Norway has a new king, and coronates and crowns a new king, that's when this sort of, I don't know, official, formal garb is brought out. That makes sense to me. The first Norwegian king to be crowned was Magnus Erlingsson in 1163. Wow. Here's a picture of it, by the way. That's a pretty cool crown. Look at that. Look at the size of that jewel on the very front. It's got like diamond cross and gold, and that is a very, very, very cool crown. The original Norwegian regalia have been lost. What? What? Huh? What do you mean? What? What are we looking at then? The original Norwegian regalia have been lost? They are mentioned in several sources, but the trail of their whereabouts ends in 1537? Norway lost track of the original crown of Norway, the king's crown. All of the Norwegian regalia has been lost. No one knows where it is. I can't I can't believe that. What a mystery. What a shame. Oh, wow. Legend has it Norway's last Roman Catholic Archbishop, Olav Engelbrektsson, took the king's crown and sword with him when he fled the country following the Reformation. He died shortly after. It is not known what became of the regalia. Like an archbishop might have stolen the king's crown of Norway, the original crown, and sword, and fled the country, then died, and no one knows where it is. That is a really interesting historical fact. That is kind of a shame. That's kind of unfortunate, huh? During Norway's union with Denmark, coronation of the Dano-Norwegian kings were held in Denmark. Consequently, when Karl Johan was preparing for his coronation in Norway in 1818, Norway did not have its own regalia. The king solved this by paying for making the essential items himself. That okay. Well, good. That's good. So Norway now has royal regalia once again. These are from the 1800s. It's like 200 years old. Whereas they lost the original. What year was it? Well, the first king was in 1163. So there's a Norwegian crown that's almost 1,000 years old. I wonder if that's out there somewhere. Do Norwegians ever think about that? That there could be like the crown of Norway somewhere out there in the world? That's kind of a cool story. Anyway, so now in Norway, the Norwegian regalia now and other coronation objects are on display in the Archbishop's Palace in Trondheim. The Dano-Norwegian royal regalia from the 1600s are kept in Copenhagen. So there's regalia and crowns that are like Dano-Norwegian, and then there's just this is the Norwegian stuff here, the royal regalia of Norway. That's a cool history right there. That's interesting. Let's take a look in detail of some of these royal artifacts, starting with the king's crown. Look at that thing. Wow. The word crown. The crown was made by the goldsmith Olav Wildborg of Sweden. King Karl Johan commissioned for the crown to be used in 1818. It has been used for 4 kings and played a prominent role in 2 consecration ceremonies. Upon death, the crown is placed on the casket of the monarch. The crown consists of 8 hoops rising up. Oh, yes. From the crown ring and joining in the middle under an orb of blue enamel with gold stars and bands of pearls. Oh, yeah. There's the pearls. There's an orb. And the bands. There's a cross made of 6 emeths. Emeths? Is that like a type of stone or diamond? I'm not sure. It's really cool gems. The 4 other hoops are filled in and shaped like bay leaves. There's a green tourmaline, said to be a gift to the king from the Brazilian consul. There's 50 pearls on the cap. It's made of 20-karat gold, pearls, gemstones. Oh my god. That is a crown right there. Yeah, so, okay. So whenever a new king is crowned in Norway, that's when this crown is brought out. Is there any other time in Norway where these crowns are brought out, like for a more formal occasion? Here's the Queen's crown. Oh, wow. These are nice. Wow, made for Queen Desiree in 1830. The design is 8 hoops, joined with an orb, yep, and a cross. The gemstone is a large amethyst. I'm not sure what that means, that stone in amethyst. Maybe we can look it up, because it seems to be used here. It's a transparent variety of quartz that usually comes in purple. Okay, seems right. What else? The Crown Prince's coronet. A coronet. Oh, interesting. So this is like for Crown Prince Haakon right now. It's the crown to the heir to the throne, and the only object of royal regalia that was made in Norway. Wow, interesting. Interesting. It was made by the goldsmith Herman Kolbjornsen Oyset of Christiania. The coronation of King Oscar I and Queen Josephine did not take place. The crown prince's coronet has never been used. Really? It's never been used? Never? Huh. It's made with gold, pearls, gemstones. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, some of these other things are a little less obvious. You got orbs? The king's orb? You got a scepter. That makes sense. Scepters. There's a horn and a sword. I want to look at this orb. It is a traditional symbol of monarch power. It symbolizes the earth. Okay. The Norwegian king's orb was made by Adolf Zethulius in Stockholm for the 1818 coronation. It's made of gilt silver. Really, what is that? And decorated with small gold roses. Yeah, very subtle, but beautiful. The Queen's orb, take a little peek at this. Yeah, very similar. Slightly higher than that of the monarch. It's decorated with emets, again, that quartz stone, and an orb of blue enamel, and 30 pearls. Beautiful. These are really cool artifacts. That's cool that you can go to, I think, Trondheim and actually see these in person, it sounds like. The King's Scepter. Yes. Oh, now we're talking. It's the symbol of the king's authority. Made of gilt silver, decorated with roses and an orb on top. Very nice. Queen's Scepter. I mean, it's so funny because, like I was saying at the beginning, you see this stuff on the British royal family all the time. Feels like there's lots of formal occasions where the king or queen has their robe and their crown and their scepter. You see that all the time, but I've never seen the Norwegian king or queen like in any of this royal sort of garb, which is kind of cool in a way because it does show that they're more like normal people. I don't think they want to be walking around in crowns and stuff. That's something special about Norway. Much more down to earth. This scepter, made of gilt silver, more ornate than the king's scepter. Yeah, it is a little more ornate. Okay, this horn. The anointment horn I want to look at. That is a fancy horn. The tradition of anointing the king originated in the Middle East. What's this horn for? That's really what I want to know. What is this horn for? Consecrated oil was applied to the temple, forehead, breast, and wrists of the king. This ceremony was viewed as the most important part. What do you use this horn for, though? What's the horn for? Does it hold the oil? Maybe it kind of looks like it could hold some of the oil, maybe? Made of gilt silver? What is gilt silver, by the way? Is a metal made of solid silver with a layer of gold on top. Ah, okay. The lid is shaped like an acorn? Huh. I wonder why. That's interesting. Finally, we have the sword of the state. In the UK, they knight people, with a sword. Is that a thing in Norway? Do you use this sword for any formal reason? Is a symbol of military power. Oh, that makes sense, because it is a sword. It belonged to King Karl Johan. What do they do with the sword? He made his military career under Napoleon, from whom it is said he received the sword under his appointment as Marshal of France. What? Oh, was it what? This is King Karl Johan of Norway? Was part of Napoleon's military? And he received that sword from Napoleon? Like French Napoleon? Huh. Bernadotte was later elected Swedish crown prince and took the name Karl Johan. Huh. He's said to have carried the sword in the Battle of Leipzig in 1813, where he fought against Napoleon. Really? This sword has actually seen combat. This sword was actually used for real. That's cool. The sword truly did not belong to him when he served as the French marshal. King Karl Johan had the blade, grip, and sheath refashioned to reflect its new role as sword of the state. What a fascinating history this has. Wow. It is engraved with symbols of the union between Norway and Sweden. Has the Norwegian coat of arms and 3 crowns of Sweden. Oh, this actually has a lot of Swedish influence on this sword, actually. It even has like French origins. Has inlay of mother of pearl. Has an acorn shape in the knob. A lot of acorn symbolism. I wonder what that's about. But anyway, with that, that is pretty darn cool. That is the Royal Regalia, the Kronregaliene of Norway. Again, I've never thought about this before, but as royalty, most royalty has this kind of stuff. Norway is no exception, but you don't see it as much. So I thought it'd be pretty fun today to check this out. This is beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Really cool. And I enjoyed learning about the history quite a bit, actually. So, anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on the Royal Regalia of Norway. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and learning about Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.